Hi, mate. Thanks for completing your check-in sheet. I've just been having a look through it now, and just looking through the numbers and things. And it seems like you've had a pretty good first week with everything. Just a few things to mention, I suppose, really. Just looking at the top and working down, really. I think energy seems to be a bit low, maybe, if I'm reading that rightly. Just so we're on the same page, given the scores out of 10, 10 would obviously be the highest. So if you're full of energy, then give yourself a 10. And then obviously, if you're not feeling like you've got anything at all, then obviously that would be kind of a 1. So going off what you've put here, if we're on the same page, then it looks like you've not had a huge amount of energy at the start of the week, or for most of it really, bit more on the weekend, which obviously you will do with not being in work. But what I want you to do when you maybe are giving yourself, quite low scores like this, in this box here, I want you to give me some information about why you think that is. It's just so I have as much information as I can to then try and kind of, maybe help you out and adjust things as necessary, really. All right. So anything like that where you're scoring yourself low, even if it's just 1 or 2 days, I want you to just give me a little bit of extra information just so I can understand things better. All right. Stress has stayed fairly low as well, which is good because we don't like to be too stressed. Sleep has been pretty good. I'm happy with that. So make sure you keep that as it is. So we're looking for about 7 to 9 hours per night on average. Obviously, it'll dip below that a couple of nights probably, but on average, as long as you can hit within that range, you're doing really well. All right. Nutrition. Now, this is obviously something that I think was going to be a bit of a change from what you said anyway as well, because you haven't tracked anything in quite a few years. You said so it's going to be kind of getting used to things again. Settling into it a bit more. So in regards to your accuracy, you've done all right to be fair. A little bit of a dip on the weekend, or I think it was on Saturday maybe. But on the whole, kept it fairly even. So this average here, I want to see kind of creeping up to about 6 or 7 over the next week or so. All right, just to show that we are being a bit more accurate with the nutrition, because that is going to then show with results such as obviously weight and everything like that. Okay, obviously hunger levels are going to take a bit of a hit because we'll have dropped calories over the last week. So hopefully that should level out a bit as well. What you can do is it's always useful, I suppose, to use different strategies. I'll talk about 1 or 2 now, and then I might add in something else next week, just so you don't have to listen to me for too long today. Some of the strategies that I've used in the past, one of them would be intermittent fasting. If you haven't heard about that, basically it would be kind of picking, say, an 8-hour window within the day where you would eat, and then the other 16 hours would be when you fast. So say if you picked, for example, from midday until 8 o'clock in the evening, and then from 8 o'clock in the evening until the next midday, you would fast. So nothing to eat. So basically that just allows you to have slightly larger meals, kind of maybe satisfy your appetite a bit more. And some people find they can manage with things easier whilst they're doing that. The other way that I've also used as well is backloading some of my food to the end of the day, because I always tend to feel hungrier or want more to eat in the evenings. And I do that mainly with my carbohydrate based foods. So kind of, any bread or any kind of rice, pasta, anything like that really, that I would have, just keep the calories to the end of the day, and just mainly have either smaller amounts of food earlier in the day, or prioritize your macronutrients. So you have mainly protein and fats in the morning. Probably on the whole, you just want to kind of just keep a bunch of calories back till the end of the day if you wanted to, and then you can consume them within a short period of time. So those are just a couple of ways that you can kind of maybe curb your hunger a little bit, and just see if that works for you there. All right. But again, just let me know in this box here if you kind of dipped a bit on your nutrition like you have done this day. Just let me know in this box kind of, what maybe the circumstances were, why you did. Obviously not a huge amount of detail, but just, just let me know. So I'm aware really, all right? Then obviously we're looking at your exercise, which is good. You've hit the 2 days with gym and swimming by the looks of it, you said. So that's good. Good start for that. Let me know how the session in the gym went, and if you found anything difficult or just had any issues with anything at all. All right. And then also with the DOMS, with the soreness, I know you put the score there for the actual day that you did it, but just give me a score, maybe even just the day after as well for each session, just so I know how things are then recovering rather than just on the day, because obviously DOMS has a much bigger effect within the 24 to 48 hours after you've exercised. So I'd rather see how things are feeling around that time instead. All right. Steps, very good. Happy with that. You keep them actually. You've overachieved actually from what I set. So that's brilliant. So keep that going as best you can. And then obviously weight, we're looking at converting that back into stones and pounds, which is what you sent me initially. That is probably about a pound or two, I think, lighter than one of the weights you sent me. So, still around the same area, maybe dropped slightly. But probably with nutrition as it has been this week, we probably wouldn't expect a huge, obviously, drop in weight. But as long as that starts kind of creeping downwards over the next couple of weeks, then, we're on the right path. All right, and hopefully as you do a bit more exercise now, this heart rate will also come down as well, which will help us. All right, so all in all, not a bad first week, to be fair, mate. Very good. So the main aim now is to keep it going over this next week. Try and up things a little bit, like the nutrition, and obviously just feeling a little bit more energized, and just letting me know a little bit more detail on those kind of things if they do take a bit of a hit. All right. But no, I'm happy with the start of it. All right. So any other questions, let me know. Other than that, I will speak to you next week. I'll maybe send you a message in the week to see how you're getting on. All right. Speak soon.